So, there has been multiple times in my life that people have told me that I am a animated person or that I'm a bit much. And little do they know what it took for me to get here. Like, I was a pretty quiet young lady when I was a kid. But it wasn't because I was shy. I just didn't feel like I had that much to say, and I just wasn't very open to always let all my thoughts out. But now I'm just much more open, and it turns out that moving around a lot and having no friends and having anime addiction for years of your formative years might make you a bit animated. What can I say? But I also just like to say that I'm just whimsy. I'm a daydreamer, okay? Like, who doesn't love a bit of daydreaming? Like, listening to music, imagining music videos, scenarios. Like, we all cry, we all get a little bit more joyous depending on the music. You know, we can watch movies from the black and white to what just came out last year, yesterday, whatever, for style inspiration, for color inspiration. And it's just a beautiful and amazing thing. We all engage in the arts, and no matter what Elon Musk and all the tech bros and the freaking STEM marine likes to tell people, the arts matter. They matter so much to our mental health, our community, and like our overall dopamine release. Like, come on, you can't tell me looking at those modern homes that look like literal geometry problems are like cozy, okay? It's definitely not giving no cottage core, let's just say that. But basically, I love media. I love media that I can see myself in, that I can't see myself in, but can empathize with. I like media that has like a message that's there if you know what you're looking for and you have like a bit of a keen eye. They aren't always so out in your face, but even ones that are out in your face, because I love children's cartoons. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But here is some media recommendations for the animated, whimsy, and maladaptive daydreamers like me. I might put up the definition because in my mind I think I know what that word means, but I'm just gonna be sure. But anyways, the 3 categories I will be discussing are music artists, movies, and shows. So I have a little list and little synopsis of my feelings for each of these. So the first one is Charlie XCX. Oh my god, like this is for my party girls, the ones who want to be a little to a lot under the influence, you know, like occasionally, you know, who likes to turn up a little bit. This is actually one of the albums I was listening to the most, the Brat album, but the Brat album that is still the Brat album, but something different or whatever that long title is for the features. And I first really got into the Brat album because of TikTok before I deactivated and deleted it because of the TikTok ban, but also because I needed to get rid of my TikTok addiction. I kind of use addiction a bit intensely, but in my mind, if you can be on something for hours, I'm like, whew, questionable at the least. But yeah, and it's just spunky, fun, provocative. It just makes me want to get on top of the DJ booth and bust a move. Like, come on. It just makes you want to bounce around and grind on a hottie. Come on. Even if that hottie's gay, like, we're just here for a good time, babes. It's all good. But yeah. Love my girl Charlie. Okay, Twigs, like, okay, so this is someone who I have been following for years actually. I can't really say since when, but I just know it's been years, and this is one of the few artists that I would actually pay to see in person. I like a lot of artists, but most of them I'm satisfied with just listening to them from Spotify. but there are some that I'm just like, yeah, I definitely have to see you. But I also just prefer smaller venues, so even then it still depends on how big they are. And I just feel like FK Twig, she's big, but she isn't that big. Like, she's big in a certain scene, I feel, for a certain group of people, but in and of like the popular media, not too much. But she just has such like mellow, futuristic, inspiring, she's just such a transformational being. It's just her music like it makes me feel inspired but kind of want to cry, but it's also kind of sexy and kind of scary, and I just love it. What can I say? She just makes me want to twirl around and then like do the robot and then like do a split on the pole. I mean, I just love it. Like, I recommend listening to her music after like an everything shower. Like, if this is your first time, have like a everything shower, cozied up in bed with your headphones in complete darkness on your laptop or whatever preferable device, and watching music videos if they're available in complete darkness, obviously. And specific ones I recommend, this is gonna be like a longer list. The other ones I won't be giving too many recommendations if they're still a bit newer, because like even if I like an artist, it doesn't mean I'm obsessed with every song. I really only like music. Like, I'll like music, but if I love it enough to put it on my liked on Spotify, that means that it's like I'm low-key obsessed with that song. So Cellophone, Asexua, Holy Terrain, Tears in the Club, Lights On, Mirrored Heart, Fallen Alien, literally just her whole discography, really. Like, you can just have any scenario in your head, put on her music, and you're good to go. Like, I just love her. Even with the Skullet, I'm sorry, but she just did. I even watched the Crow movie because I was like, okay, well, I didn't even know that wasn't the original until I watched a few reviews, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I just wanted to watch like Bill Skarsgård and FK Twigs like low-key have a sexual relationship. I'm not gonna lie, like, they're just beautiful people, and I'm not really the type to go watch things just because of the actors, but there are exceptions. So Snow Wife, this is a new person that I've been listening to, but she is sexy and fun, and it's just the perfect music to be riding down like the boardwalk in a convertible, just like chilling in the backyard in your little bikinis. It's just so cute. Like, for the hotties specifically, All Night and Pull are the ones you have to listen to, especially during the summertime, because that's what I did. Danity Kane, early 2000s queens. Okay, I will acknowledge the elephant in the room though. I think they were like produced or something by P. Diddy, but unfortunately a lot of iconic music he did have a hand in, like that song by Kesha, and I'm sure there's more, but it's just unfortunate, but it is the reality we live in. You know what they say, if you're talented and rich enough, you can kind of get away with anything though. So the girls though have this perfect sassy music vibe. Granted, I haven't listened to like their whole discography. I don't think I've listened to any person's every song in any universe, frankly, because I'm just like, okay, now I'm interested, but I don't know if I've ever heard everyone. Well, maybe Lana Del Rey, but I don't know. But yeah, it just makes you want to flip your hair, flail your arms around the sky, and eye the Puff Daddy in the corner. What more could you want? Hemlock Springs, also a new person. I discovered her from TikTok, and she's a quirky, weird black girl. She kind of reminds me of Ruby, the Irish princess or something. I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering her name, but she was in Bottoms. I loved that movie. I also kind of identify as a weird black girl, not because I think myself is actually that strange. I think everyone's kind of strange in their own way, but I have been told so multiple times in my life, so I'm just like, okay, I mean, regardless of what I think, sometimes people are gonna think you're a little weird. But yes, I just love that. And it's just like she gives Girl Next Door, and she makes music in her basement with all her friends just for the love of the game. Like, I love it. Okay, on to movies. Just My Luck, starring Lindsay Lohan and one of my favorite white boys, Chris Pines. Lindsay is a very lucky girl in the big city. I'm talking like casually dating rich guys with helicopters, effortlessly getting big money, like executives or producers or whatever to be interested in whatever they do at their job. I don't remember. I've watched this movie twice, but I just don't really care enough. I'm like, they do something with parties. I don't know. And that is what's happening in the secular world. Though in the spiritual realm, her luck gets swapped for Chris Pine's terrible luck. And I'm talking touching dog poop first thing in the morning, like has a backpack for all the emergencies he goes through. Like, he's been electrocuted multiple times, gets drenched. I'm just like, how are you still alive? How have you not seen, like, I don't freaking know. Who do you even see? Because I'm just like, something's not right there. Like, like you need to see an astrologist, a medium, a freaking exorcist. I don't freaking know. But it was kind of crazy. But yeah, if you just sprinkle like a bit of boy band music, it's just a cute, wholesome rom-com. I used to not be a fan of rom-coms, now I am. Just depends on what rom-coms. I like healthy ones that like aren't for questionable relationships sometimes. But you know, I still partake as guilty pleasures. What can I say? Just a person who enjoys media. Last holiday, the literal queen, Latifah, believes she has little time to live and spends her last holiday fulfilling her book of possibilities. It's just so beautiful. It's basically her book of like a vision board of manifestations. She has her face pasted in a lot of them, and it's like beautiful but a bit sad because in her everyday life she's actually very reserved. She doesn't actually do anything to really live on the edge in any way. And when she finds out she's gonna go, she's like, I gotta do something before I take my last breath. So she heads off to Europe. She gets all her money, her bonds, all that, and she just has a blast. And I think it's more so just a story about self-love and loving yourself enough to take a risk and go for your dream. It's just beautiful. That's the main thing I got from that movie. The romance is more on the back end. Yes, it is very cute with LL Cool J, but that's what it is. It's cute. It's not the main focus. Like, she decides that she's gonna just go and do what she wants to do and doesn't want to drag anyone else into it, so she actually rejects him. But after he finds out, you know. And it's just very nice that you see the guy pining for the woman, but it's in a very respectful way, because it's like, it's mutual from the beginning. It's obvious to the audience, but not so much for the characters. 13 going on 30. I like this in The Last Holiday. They star older ladies, and by that I just mean they aren't in their early to mid 20s. Our best years aren't behind us as soon as we turn 25. Like, if that's the case, you should start planning your funeral at 24 and stop caring about your career, family, love, your passions, like your rights, everything. Just stop caring, because you only got 25 years to live, to really live. It's all downhill from there. And it's just like, come on, 30 and flirty. Yes, because you're more established, you're more confident in who you are. It just feels like a good time. And this movie is just a fairly popular one, you know, starring Jennifer Garner and Mark Ruffalo. She magically turns 30 on her 13th birthday after some dust gets on her. And, you know, she's in the big city, of course. You know, she has a little nemesis, of course. There's the dance sequence, of course. Just a cute, fun time. Not too much else to say. On to the shows. So, Ugly Betty is a show about an ugly girl who wishes to be a writer, but she gets her start as the like assistant or secretary or something to the president or CEO of the company, who basically got it through nepotism. Of this fashion magazine. There is drama, a mystery, trans representation that might have been good to like decent at the time. I'm not really sure. They weren't hate criming her, so I guess that's good for the time. I don't know. And there is just a plethora of fashions, but like just from everyone. It's just one of them shows. Like, even though I only watched the first season of Gossip Girl, obviously I can admit that it's just one of them shows that you're just like, okay, but you gotta admit, they're terrible people, but they look good doing it. Same with Wilhelmina. I was like, I literally don't care. Give her the company. Give her the company. Like, she's a queen and she slays and she deserves it. And frankly, yeah, he didn't know what he was doing. And I'm an advocate for, you know, learning, but I think it's just like, just give it to her. But Betty is very colorful and confident within herself and her style, despite constantly being put down by literally everyone she works with, like in that world. And it's a great lesson to take away that while it's just a great lesson. And it's a iconic villain, Wilhelmina. Like, even as her name, I'm just like, girl. And last but not least, Kimi ni Todoke, which is the only anime on my list, despite my anime addiction in my preteens. I haven't actually watched too much anime the last couple of years, but this one always stuck with me out of a lot of the animes geared towards young girls. And I think it's mostly just because I can kind of relate to the main character in a sense. But it's basically a quiet and shy teen with a spooky appearance and negative rumors, who is basically in social isolation and a friend virgin. Loser. And she has a crush on this sweet and popular classmate, and a slow burn ensues with the addition of a couple of gal pals who I think might be Gairu adjacent. I might be saying that wrong, but it's a Japanese style subculture, and I think that because of the tan skin and blonde hair and like kind of bigger lips, but they're also a bit more like, I don't know, gaudy in a way. I love them. And a budding high school life awaits this former learner in the shower, in the shadows. I'm sorry, sometimes I can't speak. But yes, that is the end of my list. I hope all of my dreamy, whimsical, animated gals, pals, and everything in between enjoyed this. If you check out any of these recommendations, please let me know how you feel. If you have any recommendations, please leave them in the comments. I want you to really just dig deep, and I want a 5-page essay in the comments of each individual thing. And I also want a little thank you note at the end, since I'm the one who put you on. Just like standard stuff, obviously. But I do plan on doing more of these because I actually had more people, but I didn't want this video to be like super long. I even wrote a script. I'm trying to be more concise now. I feel more professional, I guess. And I do want to do more of these. If you would like to catch those, like and subscribe. Thank you, my dreamy babies, for watching. This is Imani you're watching, by the way. I don't think I said my name. And bye.